You know those nights when life feels like it has you by the throat. The diagnosis, the breakup, the message that changed everything. You stare at the ceiling, your chest is tight. You keep thinking one quiet question. Why is this happening to me? Now imagine this. One day, far in the future, you look back at this exact season of your life. And instead of seeing a curse, you see a doorway. Not a doorway out of pain, but a doorway into a strength you didn't know you had. Tonight is about that doorway. You're not about to hear, just be positive, or everything happens for a reason. You're about to hear something older, something whispered by monks in caves, forests, and small hidden temples. A set of inner survival codes that have carried human beings through war loss, illness, and heartbreak, without turning their hearts to stone. By the end of this video, you won't have a perfect life, but you may never look at your pain in the same way again. So take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop just a little. You don't have to pretend to be okay right now. You only have to listen. Let's start in the moment everything breaks. The message you didn't expect. The phone call at 3 a.m. The feeling that the ground you trusted just quietly disappeared. Most people do the same thing. They cling to how things used to be, to who they used to be, to a story about how life should have gone. That clinging feels natural. It also quietly makes everything worse. Buddhist teachers have a word that sounds cold at first, almost scary: emptiness. It sounds like loss. It sounds like nothingness. It sounds like the void you're afraid of falling into. But that's not what it means. Emptiness doesn't mean that nothing matters. It doesn't mean your story was pointless. It doesn't mean you should stop loving or stop caring. Emptiness simply means this: nothing in your life is as solid as your mind thinks it is. Not your pain, not your identity, not this exact moment. Everything is moving. Everything is held together by conditions, and everything can change. Think about the person you used to be 5 years ago. Same name, same body. But are they really you? Your beliefs are different. Your reactions are different. Even the way you feel love or fear has shifted. So who is the real you? The one back then. The one right now. Buddhist wisdom smiles and says, there is no frozen version of you. There is only a process always unfolding. When life smashes into you, the mind grabs for anything solid, a reason, someone to blame, a fixed story. I am ruined. I am a failure. I am unlovable. This is where the real suffering begins. The event is painful. But the story you wrap around it becomes a cage. Emptiness quietly unlocks the door. It whispers, "This pain is real." But it is not a permanent definition of you. It is a passing storm in a very large sky. When you really see this, something strange happens. You still feel pain. You may still cry. You still grieve. But you stop freezing the moment and stamping it on your forehead as your identity. Instead of saying, "This is me now, broken forever," you begin to see, "This is what is moving through me right now." That small shift is the beginning of freedom. But if nothing is solid, you might wonder, then why do certain patterns follow me? Why do the same storms keep finding me even when I try to start over? This is where another ancient word enters: karma. Modern culture twists karma into a kind of cosmic police officer. Do bad, get punished. Do good, get rewarded. But karma is not the universe keeping score. It's much quieter, much more intimate. Karma simply means actions leave traces. Every thought you repeat, every word you throw into the world, every choice you make when nobody sees you, all of it plants small seeds. Some seeds sprout quickly. You snap at someone in anger. They snap right back. You feel the sting in seconds. Other seeds sink deeper. They live in your habits, in how you pull away when you're scared, in how you chase distraction instead of sitting with discomfort. Years later, life pushes a certain button, and the old seed wakes up. Suddenly, you're in another relationship that feels strangely familiar. Another job where the same fears appear. Another crisis where you respond in the exact way that hurts you most. It feels like bad luck. It feels like fate. Buddhist wisdom says, no, this is not fate. This is cause and effect. Most of the causes were planted when you were not paying attention. That can sound harsh, but it's actually your secret power. Because if your past actions shape this moment, then your present actions are shaping the next one. Karma does not mean you deserve every bad thing that happens. It does not mean you should drown in guilt. It means this: whatever is here now is also a fresh field. You can plant something different even in the middle of the storm. Right now, you are still planting with your thoughts, with your reactions, with your words. Meet pain with bitterness, and you water bitterness. Meet it with awareness, and you water freedom. You can't change every old seed. Some are already sprouting, but you can choose what you feed today. That's how karmic cycles break. One conscious response at a time. And yet, if we're honest, in the middle of real suffering, we don't care about philosophy. We just think, it hurts, make it stop. This is where a different kind of courage appears. Not the courage to fight life, but the courage to stay with life when it's unbearable. In Buddhist stories, there is a figure called the bodhisattva. Not a saint floating above pain, a human being who sees suffering and moves toward it for themselves and for others. Most of us move the other way. We numb out. We scroll endlessly. We dive into work. We chase anything that keeps us from feeling what's in our chest. The bodhisattva does something radical. They keep their heart open, in the fire, not because pain is beautiful, not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand something very simple. If I shut my heart to my own pain, I will shut it to yours too. And the world already has enough people who turn away. So, they make a quiet vow, I will not turn away from pain. Not my pain, not yours. I will stay, even when I want to run. This staying doesn't always mean staying in a harmful situation. It doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It means not abandoning your own heart. Sometimes compassion says, I leave. Sometimes compassion says, I speak a hard truth. Sometimes compassion simply sits beside someone and says nothing at all. The bodhisattva path flips suffering upside down. Your heartbreak becomes training. Your anxiety becomes training. Your failures become training. Training to sit beside someone else one day and say, I don't have all the answers, but I know what it feels like to hurt, and I won't look away. In that moment, your pain stops being just yours. It becomes part of a larger healing. This is how adversity stops being an enemy and starts becoming sacred ground. But staying open to pain is impossible if you think suffering is a mistake. So the Buddha started with something blunt. There is suffering. Not because you messed up. Not because you're cursed. Not because you didn't manifest hard enough. There is suffering because everything changes. Bodies age. People leave. Plans collapse. Love ends. Health shifts. If you live, you will hurt. That's the first truth. The second truth is even sharper. Suffering hurts. But clinging turns hurt into misery. Life takes something away. Loss burns. Then the mind adds, it shouldn't have happened. It must come back. This is the end of me. The pain is real. The extra story is optional. The third truth says, you can be free from that extra suffering, not by controlling life, but by loosening the grip of craving and clinging. You can still love. You can still care deeply. You simply stop trying to make everything last forever. The fourth truth hands you a path, not a magic spell, a training. How you see things, how you speak, how you act, how you work, how you focus, how you stand in the middle of chaos. Piece by piece, it reshapes the way you move through the world so that pain still arrives, but it doesn't own you. To walk that path, you need a new kind of strength. Not grit your teeth and push harder, a softer, deeper strength. The ability to keep your mind from being dragged away by every thought. This is where meditative focus samadhi comes in. Most people think meditation is about relaxing, feeling peaceful, floating in calm. But the meditation that sustains you in crisis is different. It's like training a wild horse, gently, patiently, over and over. Your mind runs. You bring it back. It runs again. You bring it back. Back to the breath. Back to the body. Back to this one moment. At first it feels pointless, messy, loud, but slowly something changes. A gap appears between what happens and how you react. The message arrives. The fear rises. The chest tightens. Before, you would explode or shut down instantly. Now, even for 1 second, you can see the fear without becoming it. That second is everything. In that second, you can choose not to send the cruel message, not to reach for the old addiction, not to say I'm done when you're not. This is meditative endurance. The strength to feel everything without letting any one feeling drive the car. The more you train it, the more you discover something quietly shocking. The mind that notices pain is bigger than the pain. The storm is real, but it does not fill the whole sky. Still, there's another layer of fear. What if there is no ground at all? What if everything I trusted can disappear? The Heart Sutra, the short, fierce core text of Mahayana Buddhism, does not hide from this question. It says in its own way, "You're right. There is no ground that never moves, and that is your freedom." We spend our lives trying to build a floor that won't crack. The perfect relationship, the perfect career, the perfect belief system, the perfect version of ourselves. We think, once I have this, I'll finally relax. The Heart Sutra gently tears that deal apart. It whispers a mantra: gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisattva, gone. Gone beyond, gone far beyond, awakened, gone. Is your old idea of safety gone? Is the belief that you can fix everything into place gone? Is the illusion that you must hold life together on your own what's left? Not despair, strangely, relief. You no longer have to keep forcing the river to flow in straight lines. You no longer have to pretend you're in full control. You still show up. You still care. You still act, but you stop bargaining with life. You stop saying, "I'll be okay," only if everything goes my way. You start saying, "I'll be okay because I no longer need life to go my way, to trust this moment." That is not passivity. That is radical trust. Even with that trust, you are not meant to do this alone. The Buddha never said, "Go to the forest by yourself and figure it out without anyone." He placed community sangha at the heart of the path. A true Dharma friend is not just someone who shares quotes with you. They're the one who sits with you when you forget every quote, who looks you in the eye when you say, "I can't," and replies, "I know you think that, but I've seen you stand back up before." They don't rescue you. They remind you. They don't flatter your ego. They reflect your patterns with love. Sometimes they comfort you. Sometimes they call you out. Sometimes they simply breathe beside you in silence. In a world that celebrates, "I don't need anyone," this kind of friendship is rebellion, because the truth is, isolation doesn't make you strong. It makes your mind louder and your stories harsher. When you practice together, doubt becomes lighter. Shame loosens. You realize it's not just me. Everyone falls apart. Everyone forgets. Everyone is trying. Suffering stops being a private failure. It becomes a shared human fact. And in that shared space, you find the courage to keep going when you would have given up alone. There is another illusion that feeds your urgency: time. Not the clock on the wall, the mental version of time. The mind says, "I will finally be okay when this is over. In 3 months, in a year, when I get that job, when I heal." So you start racing toward an imaginary later while ignoring the only place healing ever happens now. The past is gone. The future does not exist yet. Both of them only appear as thoughts, occurring now. This isn't philosophy to sound clever, it's medicine. Because fear feeds on the future. Regret feeds on the past. Both starve when you keep returning to this breath. You don't have to solve the next 10 years. You only have to meet this inhale, this exhale, this sensation in your chest, over and over. When you stop believing that peace lives somewhere out there, you stop chasing shortcuts. You stop saying, "I'll start living when things calm down." You realize life isn't waiting for the perfect version of you. It is happening in this messy, imperfect moment. And this moment is the only doorway you will ever have. Underneath all of this, another force keeps tugging at you, craving. Buddhist stories describe the hungry ghost, a being with a huge empty belly and a tiny throat, always consuming, never filled. You don't need to believe in ghosts. You've met this one inside yourself. It shows up as one more notification, one more purchase, one more person to impress, one more spiritual trick to finally fix me. It shows up after heartbreak, as if I just find someone new, I'll be whole again. It shows up after failure, as if I just achieve more, I'll finally feel enough. But the hunger was never really about the object. It was about a deeper story, whispering, "You are incomplete. You are missing something. You are not enough as you are." No relationship can permanently silence that voice. No success can permanently quiet it. No amount of spiritual practice, chased like a drug, can satisfy it. Because the hungry ghost is not a thing. It is a habit of believing that your basic nature is lacking. You don't defeat this ghost by starving yourself of all desire. You tame it by turning toward the hunger itself. You sit with the not enough feeling. You notice where it lives in your body. You listen to it without obeying it. You may even say, "I see you. I know you're scared, but you're not driving today." Slowly, the ghost shrinks because you're no longer feeding it with unconscious grasping. In the space that opens, you taste something the ghost could never understand. Simple contentment. Not because your life finally ticks every box, but because you stop attacking yourself for having an unfinished life. From that contentment, you can still work, still love, still dream. But you move from fullness, not from panic. Your actions stop screaming, "Please prove I'm enough." They start whispering, "I already am." Sometimes pain needs more than stillness and insight. It needs movement. It needs shape. That's where another quiet practice appears, turning suffering into expression. In temples, monks create sand mandalas for days. Perfect circles. Tiny details. Then they sweep them away, not to be dramatic, but to teach their own hands even the most beautiful things cannot be held. You don't need a temple to do this. Writing one honest paragraph about how you feel. Drawing chaos on a page. Chanting a simple phrase until your voice cracks. These are not hobbies. They are ways of letting your pain move instead of letting it harden inside your chest. The art doesn't need to be good. No one ever needs to see it. What matters is that the unspeakable gets a form. Once it has a form, you can bow to it. You can touch it. You can put it down when you're ready to stand again. Buddhist teachings offer a small toolkit for moving through life when it feels harsh and unpredictable. 6 qualities, 6 inner muscles you can train: generosity, ethical integrity, patience, energetic engagement, meditation, wisdom. Generosity in hard times is not about giving from overflow. It's giving when you feel empty. A message of support. Your attention, a quiet presence. It reminds you I still have something to offer, even when your own life feels like rubble. Ethical integrity is choosing not to become someone you don't respect just because you're in pain. You could lie. You could deceive. You could hurt someone back, but you don't. Not because you're perfect, but because you don't want to lose your own dignity on top of everything else. Patience is not passive waiting. It's the strength to stay present in the space between this hurts and this has changed. It refuses to demand, this must be over by next week. It trusts that reality unfolds in its own time. Energy is not endless productivity. It's the willingness to stay engaged even when you're tired of trying. Some days, that energy is a bold action. Other days, it's simply, I will get out of bed and brush my teeth. That's my act of courage today. Meditation anchors you in direct experience when thoughts spiral out of control. Wisdom is the quiet knowing that grows from all of this. This reaction will deepen my suffering. That response will lighten it even a little. Together, these 6 qualities turn survival into transformation. You don't just get through, you change. Even so, some grief sinks into the body in a way that thinking cannot touch. Your shoulders curl in. Your chest feels like stone. Your legs feel heavy, as if walking forward is a betrayal of what you lost. This is where walking meditation comes in. Not as a cute extra, as medicine. You place one foot on the ground, then the other, slowly, deliberately. You feel the weight shift, the heel, the toes, the contact with the earth. Thoughts swirl, but you keep bringing attention back down into the soles of your feet. Your grief is still there, but it is no longer trapped only in the mind. It flows through your muscles into the ground that has held every broken heart before yours. You're not moving on, you're moving with, step by step, breath by breath. Sometimes this is done in silence with others, a small group walking in a circle, each carrying their own story, each saying with their bodies, I am still here. So are you. In those simple steps, you relearn something your mind forgot. Even with a broken heart, your life is still moving. You are still part of the living world. And then there is the hardest truth of all. One day, all of this will end. Your body, everyone you love, every project, every story you've ever told about yourself. Most people push this thought away. It's too heavy, too dark. Buddhist practice does the opposite. It brings death into gentle focus, not to depress you, but to wake you up. When you remember, I could die sooner than I think, many things fall away. Petty grudges, pointless arguments, the need to win every fight. You start asking different questions. If today was my last ordinary day, would I really want to spend it scrolling in anger? Would I want my last words to this person to be those? You realize you don't have time to endlessly postpone living. You don't have time to wait until you are fully healed, fully successful, fully perfect, before you allow yourself to love, to forgive, or to show up. This doesn't mean you give up on change. It means you stop believing you have unlimited tomorrows. Death contemplation doesn't make life meaningless. It makes every moment more precious. That hug might be the last. That laugh with a friend might be the last. This breath could be the last. When you really take that in, you don't become numb. You become tender, more willing to say, I'm sorry. More willing to say, I love you. More willing to live an honest life, even if it doesn't look impressive from the outside. So where do you rest if everything is changing? And even your own life is temporary. Buddhist practice offers 3 refuges, not hiding places. Anchors: the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. The Buddha is not just a statue or a story. He is proof that a human mind, a mind with fear, confusion, and doubt, can awaken to clarity. Taking refuge in the Buddha means remembering, if someone else walked through darkness and woke up, maybe I can too. The Dharma is the teaching itself, not as dogma, as a map. It doesn't erase your storms, but it shows you where you keep stepping into the same ditch. It shows you how to walk differently. The Sangha, as you heard, is the community. The people who walk beside you when you forget how to walk at all. Refuge doesn't mean the pain stops. It means that when everything collapses, you have somewhere to turn besides your own panic. You remember a teacher's words. You remember a simple practice. You remember a friend who will understand. And for a moment, you are held. There is one more place suffering loves to hide inside the story of who you think you are. I am the strong one. I am the caretaker. I am the successful one. I am the broken one. These stories feel like home. until life contradicts them. You lose the role. The relationship ends. Your body can no longer do what it used to. Then it feels like you are dying. Buddhist teaching on non-self anatta touches this wound. It doesn't erase your personality. It doesn't deny your uniqueness. It just says you are not a fixed thing. You are not a single label. You are not one story frozen forever. You are more like a river, always changing, never exactly the same twice. When you cling to one identity, the strong one, the victim, the smart one, you suffer every time reality asks you to be something else. Non-self is not erasing you. It is relaxing the grip. It lets you say, "Once I was that. Now life is asking something different of me." You can grieve the old version. You can honor it. But you don't have to cling to it as if your existence depends on it. This releases a surprising amount of shame. If there is no fixed, permanent me to ruin, then your mistakes, your failures, your bad season are not your final definition. They are chapters, not the entire book. Even with all this, there will be days when everything feels empty. Practice feels flat. Teachings sound hollow. You might think, maybe none of this works. Maybe I've been fooling myself. In Buddhism, this is not a sign that you're a bad practitioner. It's simply called doubt. Doubt can rot your practice if you believe it blindly. But it can deepen your practice if you listen to what it really wants. Underneath doubt is a very honest longing. I don't want second-hand truths. I want something real. That longing is sacred. It strips away fake faith. It strips away practicing just to feel special. It strips away doing meditation to impress anyone, even yourself. What remains is very small and very strong, I don't know. But I'm willing to keep showing up for this moment, even without guarantees. That willingness to sit with your confusion, to breathe with your not knowing, to keep walking even when the path feels dark. That is faith, not faith that everything will feel good, not faith that life will reward you. Faith that awareness itself is worth returning to again and again, because it is the only place you've ever found even a small taste of truth. So here you are, maybe in the middle of loss, maybe at the edge of burnout, maybe quietly holding a pain no one else sees. Buddhist wisdom does not say, "This is good, pain is not good." It simply says, "This can be used." Your heartbreak can become compassion. Your fear can become clarity. Your confusion can become humility. Your failures can become wisdom. None of this erases the hurt, but it stops the hurt from being wasted. You learn to let go, not because you don't care, but because gripping is what's cutting your hands. You learn to act not from panic, but from a quieter strength. You learn to love not as a way to fill your own emptiness, but as a natural overflow from the part of you that was never broken in the first place. That part has been here the whole time, watching every rise, every fall, every version of your life. Call it awareness. Call it Buddha nature. Call it the still point inside the storm. Whatever word you use, it's the one thing your worst day cannot take from you. Tonight, maybe you don't feel strong. That's okay. You don't need to feel strong to be on the path. You only need to be willing to take the next small, honest step. One breath, one kind word, one moment of not turning away. That's how mountains are crossed. That's how storms are survived. That's how ordinary human beings slowly become unshakable from the inside out. This chapter isn't the end of your story. It's a training ground. And somewhere ahead, in a video you haven't heard yet, in a moment you haven't lived yet, another piece of this will click into place. Until then, keep your heart just open enough to let the next small bit of wisdom land. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep walking.